July is a tough month for gardeners. The heat is intense, the soil dries out quickly, and pests seem to multiply by the day. But despite these challenges, July offers incredible opportunities for those who know how to handle it. Today, I want to share with you everything you need to know to keep your garden thriving this month. First, let's talk about the soil. In July, the sun beats down hard, and the soil can become dry and cracked. This makes it difficult for plant roots to access water and nutrients. To combat this, mulching is absolutely essential. Mulch acts like a protective blanket for your soil. When you cover your garden beds with materials like straw, hay, or shredded leaves, you help the soil retain moisture, keep cooler, and reduce weed growth. Just remember not to pile it too thickly. Your soil still needs to breathe, so a layer of about 2 to 3 inches is usually perfect. Now, watering is probably the biggest challenge during this hot month. Many gardeners make the mistake of watering lightly and often, thinking that's better. But actually, it's far more effective to water deeply but less frequently. When you water deeply, the moisture reaches far down into the soil, encouraging roots to grow deeper and making plants stronger and more drought-resistant. I always water early in the morning when temperatures are cooler. This helps minimize evaporation and gives plants time to absorb moisture before the heat of the day. One important tip: avoid wetting the leaves while watering. Wet leaves and hot sun can burn and also encourage fungal diseases. Speaking of diseases, July is when problems like late blight and powdery mildew can start to appear, especially on tomatoes and cucumbers. To prevent this, make sure you water at the base of the plants, keep good air circulation by pruning lower leaves, and remove any diseased or damaged foliage immediately. Don't wait. Catching these problems early can save your whole crop. Let's talk about feeding your plants. In July, nitrogen fertilizers should be limited. Nitrogen helps plants grow leaves and stems, but at this stage, your plants need more potassium and phosphorus. Potassium is crucial for fruit development. It helps fruits grow larger, tastier, and more resistant to stress. Phosphorus supports strong root systems and flowering. I prefer to use organic fertilizers, like compost teas or wood ash, because they feed plants steadily without the risk of burning roots. Avoid overfeeding. Too much fertilizer can harm your plants. Pests can be relentless during this month. Aphids, spider mites, whiteflies, and caterpillars all love hot weather. I recommend inspecting your garden at least every 2 or 3 days. Look for sticky leaves, webs, holes in leaves, or yellow spots. A simple but effective homemade spray is garlic mixed with a little liquid soap. Spray it on affected plants to keep pests away. If the infestation becomes severe, use approved insecticides carefully, always following the instructions to protect beneficial insects like bees and ladybugs. Tomatoes need special care in July. This is when they really start to produce fruit, so your job is to support that growth. Removing suckers, those small shoots that grow between the main stem and branches, helps direct the plant's energy to fruit production instead of unnecessary foliage. Also, prune lower leaves to improve airflow and reduce the risk of disease. For cucumbers, it's important to tie up the vines. Letting them sprawl on the ground increases the chance of rot and pest problems. Peppers and eggplants also need steady watering and feeding to ensure good fruit size and flavor. Weeds may seem like a minor annoyance, but they compete fiercely with your crops for water and nutrients. Don't underestimate them. Regularly pulling weeds by hand and loosening the soil between rows can make a big difference. This also helps improve soil aeration, allowing roots to breathe and grow stronger. July is also the perfect time to plan ahead for the next season. Planting cover crops such as clover or rye can enrich your soil with organic matter and nutrients when you turn them under later. You might also start sowing cool weather vegetables like radishes, spinach, or lettuce, which can be harvested in the fall. Compost and well-rotted manure are your best friends here, improving soil structure and fertility over time. Don't forget about your tools. Keeping them clean and sharp makes gardening easier and safer. Organize your seeds and supplies now, so when the time comes for fall planting, you're ready and stress-free. One important thing to remember is that every garden is different. Soil type, microclimate, and plant varieties all affect how your garden responds to heat and care. Pay attention to what's happening. If you see leaves wilting or yellowing or fruits not developing properly, it's a signal to adjust your watering or feeding schedule. Gardening is a constant learning process. Observe and adapt. Also, July is a great time to take notes. Keep a garden journal where you write down what worked, what didn't, and what problems you encountered. Over time, this information will be invaluable. Some gardeners worry about harvesting in July, thinking the heat will reduce yields. But with proper care, July can actually be your most productive month. Harvest regularly to encourage plants to keep producing. Pick vegetables early in the morning when they're freshest and have the best flavor. Finally, don't forget to take care of yourself. Gardening in July, heat can be exhausting. Drink plenty of water, wear a hat and sunscreen, and take breaks in the shade. Your garden thrives when you do. So, to wrap up, July is a balancing act between heat, water, nutrition, and pest control. Focus on protecting your soil with mulch, watering deeply but not too often, feeding plants with potassium and phosphorus, monitoring for pests and diseases, pruning and supporting your vegetables, keeping weeds under control, planning for the future, and taking care of your tools. With these steps, your garden can thrive and reward you with a bountiful harvest. Remember, gardening is about observation and adaptation. Every garden is unique, so stay attentive and flexible. July is a balancing act. Heat, water, nutrition, and care all need to be in harmony. Nail this, and you'll be rewarded with a thriving, fruitful garden.